The forest edge was silent. Not a single leaf rustled. The grass beneath Benny's paws was a dull, washed-out shade of gray, and the sky above lacked its usual depth. He stood motionless, ears swiveling toward the trees, searching for any sign of movement or color. Nothing. The world had gone quiet and cold. A flicker of movement caught his eye. A blue butterfly, the only vibrant thing left in the landscape, spiraled down and landed on his ear. "The rainbow garden has lost its colors," the butterfly whispered, its wings trembling. "Without them, the forest goes silent." Benny felt the weight of the news settle in his chest. He looked back at his burrow, then toward the darkening path ahead. The butterfly nudged a small, rolled-up golden map toward him. Benny reached out, his paws trembling slightly as he gripped the parchment. He looked at the winding trail marked on the map, took a steadying breath, and turned his back on the safety of home. The journey into the Whispering Woods had begun. The path ended abruptly at a rushing stream. The water moved too quickly for a simple jump, and the stones were slick with moss. Benny paused, his nose twitching as he measured the distance. Suddenly, a group of turtles surfaced, their shells lining up to form a stable bridge across the current. He took a tentative step, then another, his paws landing firmly on the hard, dry surfaces until he reached the far bank. He looked back, waved a quick thanks, and pushed deeper into the trees. Soon he arrived at a crystal cave where a pulsing red light flickered against the walls. A hedgehog paced in tight, frantic circles, looking under every stone. "I lost my favorite mushroom," the hedgehog muttered, its voice thick with worry. Benny scanned the dark corners. He crawled into a tight, narrow crevice, spotted the mushroom wedged behind a sharp rock, and nudged it out with his nose. The hedgehog beamed, clutching the item, and pressed the red crystal into Benny's paws. The first piece of the puzzle was his. With the red light glowing in his pack, he felt the momentum shift. He turned toward the path leading to the hills, moving with newfound speed. The path climbed upward, becoming steep and jagged as Benny reached the summit of Windy Hill. The air here was thin and whipped around his ears. He scanned the clearing and saw it. The blue crystal hovering high above the grass, suspended in the swirling breeze. He stood on his tiptoes, stretching his front paws as high as they would go, but the light remained inches beyond his reach. He paced the base of the hill, his mind racing for a solution. A squirrel chattered from a nearby twisted branch and dropped a thick, weathered vine toward the ground. It landed with a heavy thud in the clover. Benny approached the vine and pulled it taut, testing the tension against his weight. It held. He backed away, took a deep breath, and sprinted toward the ledge. At the very edge, he leaped. His paws locked onto the vine, and he swung out into the empty air, the wind rushing past his face. The world blurred as he hung suspended, his momentum carrying him directly toward the hovering light. He reached out, fingers closing tightly around the cold, smooth surface of the blue crystal. He released the vine mid-swing, tumbled through the air, and landed safely in a patch of soft clover. He held the second crystal high, his chest heaving with the effort. Benny emerged from the tree line and stood before the center of the rainbow garden. The fountain sat motionless, a dry stone structure with 7 empty slots staring back at him. He approached the basin and placed the red crystal into the first slot with a sharp click. He followed it with the blue crystal, sliding it into its designated groove. The garden remained gray and silent. Benny looked around, his paws hovering over the remaining space. Suddenly, movement rippled through the surrounding brush. From the shadows of the oaks and the tall grass, the other forest animals stepped into the clearing, They carried the remaining 5 crystals, their faces set with focus. One by one, they stepped forward and slotted the gems into the fountain. As the final piece locked into place, the base of the structure groaned. A blinding beam of pure white light erupted from the center, shooting straight toward the clouds. It shattered instantly, scattering a massive arc of color across the sky. The gray petals of the garden flushed with sudden, intense red, yellow, and violet. The air shifted, losing its stagnant chill and filling with the sharp, sweet scent of blooming flowers. High above, the birds broke their silence, erupting into a synchronized, deafening song that vibrated through the very ground beneath Benny's feet. The brilliant light settled, leaving the garden bathed in a soft, natural glow. Every leaf, stem, and petal stood out in sharp, saturated color against the forest floor. Benny remained by the fountain, his paws resting on the cool, stone edge. He watched the petals unfurl, the vibrant red and violet hues deepening as the morning sun hit the garden. The butterfly descended from the canopy in a slow, spiraling path. It hovered for a moment before landing on Benny. With a delicate movement, it tucked a small, fragrant golden blossom behind his ear. Benny stayed perfectly still, his whiskers twitching as the scent of the flower filled the air. He turned his head and looked across the clearing. The trees were alive again, swaying in a gentle rhythm. The birds continued their song, a steady, melodic backdrop to the rustle of the leaves. He watched a dewdrop slide down a bright green blade of grass, catching the light like a prism. The silence that had once gripped the woods was gone, replaced by the steady pulse of life. He took a slow breath, the air cool and clean in his lungs. He looked at the fountain, then back at the flourishing garden, and stepped forward to walk among the flowers.